In the last section, we ran the docker ps command, and we saw one variation of it, which was docker ps --all. When we ran --all on here, we saw that we got a printup of all the containers we'd ever started up on our machine, which was kind of interesting, because it kind of begs the question, when does a container really get shut down? Why does it get shut down? And what happens when it gets shut down? So starting this section, I want to start to show you a little bit around the life cycle of a container, which is going to give you a better idea of what's going on behind the scenes. Now, before first investigating or just jumping to the end, like figuring out what happens when a container gets shut down, I want to kind of go all the way to the start and really figure out what happens when a container is first created. Now, we've learned at this point that to start up a new container from an image, we use the docker run command. But when we looked at this diagram, remember we looked at this diagram like 2 or 3 sections ago, you'll notice that I had put some very particular terminology here. I said creating and running a container. Creating a container and actually starting it up are actually 2 separate processes. So there's actually 2 additional commands in addition to docker run that we can use to start up a new container. Docker run, running that at your command line, is identical to running 2 other commands together. First, docker create, and then docker start. As you might guess, the docker create commands is used to create a container out of an image, and then start is used to actually start an image. But at this point, you might be a little bit curious of, hey, what's the distinction between creating a container and actually starting a container? Let's look at a diagram that's going to help you understand the